Hi Sagittarius, and welcome to your weekly tarot reading for the week of September. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you are doing well. This is a reading for any sun, moon, or rising Sagittarius. We're going to take a look at the cards. We'll get a sense of the awareness or the big ideas for the week, guidance, and possible outcomes. I will also choose a few oracle cards for additional information. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so we have Temperance, the major arcana. We have the Seven of Swords, and we have the Three of Wands. So Temperance is a card of doing whatever you can to stay in balance, to pay attention to what's going on within you. And so going on within you from both a physical perspective, an emotional perspective, mentally, spiritually, all aspects of your life. You're trying to find the right balance, the integration of all of these things, and it's really a check-in with each part of you. And often when one part of our life, if we're exhausted and we're physically feeling weak, that affects other parts of our life. So, Temperance is saying you've got to find the right balance for yourself, and you have to do things moderately. So if you have been working too hard at the expense of rest and recovery, then there has to be a little, you have to pay some attention to it to try to improve that situation. So it's a matter of thinking and contemplating on what's going on within your life and how can you get yourself to a more serene, peaceful place, your own equilibrium. And, when we feel that we're rested and that we are nutritionally on point and we have just the right amount of social activities and other things, then we feel good. But when we're in extremes, if we're working every weekend because we have a pleading or something that's due and you're just pulling all-nighters, that stresses the system, your system. So it's incumbent upon you to find the balance that works for you. So it's a matter of tuning in to how you feel, what you're thinking, listening for messages, because often, we get these little nuggets from above that come down. So it's really being very mindful and aware of how you're feeling across the board, and to try to develop a plan to become more moderate in behaviors or, things going on in your life. And sometimes things are out of your control, and that's appreciated. We know that's everybody's felt like that. Sometimes we don't really have control, but to the degree that we can or begin to plan to try to bring more balance in, then that's important, that's essential. So that's a big thing to think about. So then we have the Seven of Swords. And so in this illustration, here's the coloring. It's dark. It's a dark night. It looks like someone is really taking something that isn't his. And often with the Seven of Swords, it's the possibility of deceit, of dishonesty, of someone trying to pull the wool over your eyes, somebody trying to, get you to believe in something maybe that isn't quite right in order for you to do something. Manipulation perhaps, but it's certainly not behavior that's on the up and up. And in life we encounter people who straight up try to rip you off or try to take your job or be underhanded and whatever it may be. And the Seven of Swords is, yes, the possibility, of course, always exists that kind of thing happens. But pay attention. Be aware of people around you. Be aware of, what they say. and what they do? Are those two things in alignment? Do they have integrity? So it really is putting up your antenna, and particularly your BS antenna, when people are feeding you a bunch of bull. That you need to be on top of things, and that sometimes people's objectives are not very honest or sincere or authentic, that there's a hidden agenda behind. So, as we've said, I think earlier in the week or at some point, information is power. I would go further and say awareness is power, which is take people at face value until you begin to see discrepancies, until you begin to see things that don't quite add up. It's up to you to protect yourself in life. You have to be very much on top of who's telling you what. And, if someone's lying to you, there's some pretty good liars out there. And ultimately, perhaps the lies are revealed. But, this is a reminder that someone may be trying to take something from you. Could be your time, could be your money, could be a partner, or somebody could be interested, but it's something for you to be thinking about. So then we have the Three of Wands. And with the Three of Wands, we get a real sense here of this golden horizon. The fire looks like the glowingness in the distance. And so this person in this illustration is really focused on what's in the distance, in the future. Why? This is a card of vision. It's a card of thinking about the big picture. It's about planning what's next for you. For some of you, what's next may be actual travel. You may be headed somewhere on business or on a vacation or something. Others may be thinking of making a change, or perhaps following their pursuits, their passions, getting additional certifications or expertise in their profession. So you may be thinking, this is what I'm hoping to do down the line. Not necessarily tomorrow, but over time. This is my big picture. This is how I'm going to branch out, and this is what my future holds, and this is what I hope to do. I hope to be able to bring my passions and my enthusiasms into my life, in a real sense. And so that's the planning stages, and here it's really taking stock of putting the pieces in place so that you can do so. And so it is big ideas, can lead to big moves. And so you have to be thinking about things. You need to maybe be inspiring yourself by reading professional development books. There's so many great books. I happened to be at the FedEx today and saw all these wonderful business books, and I'm thinking, gosh, I made a list of things I'd like to read, because it's inspiring to think about what's next. What am I going to do in 6 months? What am I going to be doing in a year? 3 years, so this is this initial stage of creation and manifestation. So as you are thinking about yourself here, you're taking care of yourself and perhaps your family. We have this little, be mindful of the people around you, or the circumstances and the scenarios around you. Look for the truth in what people say and what they do. Don't let yourself be taken advantage of. And make sure that you establish and maintain balance within your life. It's simply solid, practical advice, which is to, if you're tipping in one direction, try to just ease back into a better place. So, interesting cards. Let's take a look at what the numbers have for us. We have 14 and 7 is 21, and 3 is 24. And that reduces to 6. And 6 is about stability. It's often about social consciousness or compassion and trying to find peace. And to close the reading, I'm going to choose an oracle card and we'll get a little more information. Three of Wands, and here's the word action. It is taking action. When you have a vision, when you have a plan, when you can really visualize and have that mindset of where you're going to be, then that is going to help inspire you and to help propel you down that path. And again, I'll say it a million times, you have to read Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. It may be from, it was from the 20s, I think, 1920-ish or so, or 1930. I'd have to double check, but well worth reading. Things that are true today, very, very true. So on that note, I hope that you have a wonderful day. If you enjoyed this reading, please subscribe, like, share, or comment. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.